is the North End. This is the North End.
Hey guys, JP California coming at you guys from a beautiful, sunny Southern California day. I'm actually needing the big trees that are on the other side of this camera to give me some shade because it is just idealistic out today. Got married yesterday, so my hair's all messed up. I'm tired, I'm groggy. I woke up for the game at 7 a.m. with a slight hangover, but I digress. Let's go into it. Now, I know we didn't do a good, the bad, and the ugly after Man City, so I'm going to kind of talk about that. But before we get started, please like and subscribe. Get at all the stuff. Please get after us. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly of the last week, maybe. First off, Man City, 4-1. I thought we kind of threw it away with the lineup. Clearly, we only had about 2 normal starters in the team, so I don't think we missed very much. And there's my good, the bad, and the ugly. And we're moving on. Why don't we talk about Aston Villa v. Brentford today in a 3-3 draw? And I think that would do wonders for us.
Heyo, JP California.
What's up, Luke?
I've flown in, baby. I've flown in.
He's already here. I'll make some room for
thanks,
you.
brother. We got big budgets here at the North End. Lots of money being spent. High quality production, as you can tell. Great sound.
My laptop and a tripod.
Exactly. I
That's
love it. Well, JP was very kind of coy on that, but he did get married yesterday. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at a now taken man. So, if you've been watching this channel hoping and praying, then you're gonna have to give up because he's a married man, and I was there.
Yeah, he was there. I do apologize for the viewer. The sun is just brutal today. It's almost picturesque. I wish he was there yesterday.
It was a little cold in the evening. Yeah, we kind of struggled a little bit there, but it didn't rain. But you know what, JP, I'm going to stop you. Why don't we scrap the good, the bad, the ugly? Because the game is a bit all over the place and there's a lot to talk about. Let's talk about top 4 predictions and what we need to achieve that top 4 finish.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
That's it.
Because Villa fans want top 4.
We do. We absolutely do. And I think whether it's a fair expectation or whether it's a bit of a foolish one, I'm not sure, but we are playing great football. We feel like a team that, would hold their own at least in a Champions League. Maybe not finals or anything, but I think it would be nice to see us on a run. A long time since Villa have been anywhere near that. So I think we should start. Let's talk about the fixtures. So coming up, I'll read them out to you and you let me know what you think.
Let's do it.
So we've got our next game is Arsenal, 14th of April, with no Dougie, who picked up a yellow today against Brentford. And frustratingly, I don't know if you heard this, if he hadn't picked up a yellow, it would have reset. So
that is super frustrating. And I heard it was at the very end of the game, so he maybe a little naivety in his part, maybe something he didn't have to do, maybe the emotions got the better of us that we blew the game today because we had that 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
But probably a whole host of everything that kind of played into his judgment there.
It was just a late tackle. It was definitely a booking. It was just foolish. So that's a huge loss again coming into that game. That is against a team that are flying in Arsenal. They really are making mistakes. Then we have a Europa game, quarterfinals. Obviously, got to take that seriously 4 days later. And then we roll into the end of the Premier League, and it runs as this. The 21st of April against Bournemouth.
We need to win.
27th against Chelsea.
Woof.
4th of May against Brighton. The 11th of May against Liverpool. And final game of the season will be the 19th of May against Crystal Palace. So, what have we got? 6 games?
6 games.
Remaining. JP, what do we need?
We are at 60 points with 6 games remaining. I know a lot of Villa fans were saying 70 points. I'm going to say 69 points because that's a great number. I'm going to say Villa need 3 wins.
Yeah.
3 wins.
I think we're going to need at least that. So one thing that we should talk about is the fact that with today's draw, we remain 3 points ahead of Tottenham, which is great. However, Tottenham have 2 games in hand.
Yes.
So if they win both of those games, they are 3 points ahead with the same amount of games played. And Tottenham are doing everything they can not to get that top 4. They are playing great football and then crapping the bed.
Yes.
Dominated us, really just best performance of their season, and then just threw it away against Fulham, kind of all over the place, a draw the other week. It's hard to know what they're going to do, but I would agree, JP. I think we're going to need at least 3. I'm gonna say I think we need 4. I think we need 4
It's
because
going to be very difficult for the 4. I mean, that's 4 of 6 games. That's a really good return. I think 3 of 6, winning 50% of our games. If you were a coach that won 50% of your games on a team, you're a top 6 coach.
Correct.
So getting that, if we want to be a top 4 coach, we need to win at least 3. And I think the Bournemouth one will be definitely one that we need to hit. And I think the Crystal Palace last game of the season is one. And then it's a toss-up because we have Brighton, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea. So we need to pick up a win amongst those 3 games.
I can see us beating Brighton.
I can see us beating Brighton. I can see us beating Chelsea because it's at home.
I can, yeah. A home fixture against Chelsea, and we've seen how unpredictable Chelsea are.
Yeah. I could also see us getting 2 wins and 2 draws, which might be enough to get us near it. But it also depends on Tottenham's play. Top 4 is going to be hard. But the kicker is that Aston Villa might not need 4th place.
Yes, this is an interesting development, and I think you and the guys are a little better at following this than me. But long story short, your dog has decided to dig up a body, so that's great.
We have this in the background. My dog is just like moving around and digging like a complete.
Okay, so we've settled the dog down.
Yeah, I had to move him.
Exactly. He's a beautiful dog, but I don't know where he's digging.
He was just
to
digging
China
to
or
China.
something. Yeah. So obviously we've discussed what we need from the results wise, from the performances. I think what do we need from the team? What do we need from the lineups? Because we've seen Unai's had to mess around now and try different things recently because of injuries, because of suspensions. What are you making of the starting 11, JP?
I thought today's starting 11 was actually perfect. I thought it was probably the best that we could do, bar maybe Tielemans for Diaby or whatever, and then moving McGinn back. I don't think there's a lot of variation that Villa have. We don't have another right back. It has to be Konza. We don't have a left mid really to take over since Ramsey's injured. It's Morgan Rogers, and it doesn't seem like he trusts Zaniolo, and I don't think the fans do either.
Yeah.
I think the team, when most of them are healthy, picks itself. So the biggest thing Villa need to not do is get injured. Like, we just can't have any more injuries. I think the other major thing that Villa need to do is I think Unai Emery needs to not change what made us successful.
Yes.
Like today, I felt we did all the things that make us successful. We dominated the ball. We had a lot of possession. We controlled teams. We hemmed them in to where they have to play the low block, and then we just considerably keep it, recycle it, look for the opening, and eventually we make a good play happen, which is exactly what happened with the first goal.
I fully agree. No, I fully agree. I think the saying goes, don't fix what's not broken.
Yeah.
And what were the longest home winning record of our careers, of our history under Unai, with 13 games we went on?
15 almost.
It was wild.
Crazy.
And so, that was confidence. That was top of the league Villa. We need to go back and just play that way. I would say we need a couple of the additional players to step up a bit more. Rogers getting his first goal today, and it was a great goal.
It was a great goal.
Great goal, great touch, great finish. And he's looking like he's really coming into his own, which is great because they pursued him and really wanted him, and we're starting to see why. Zaniolo is a strange one. We've had conversations, you and I, about this. I like Zaniolo, but he's not consistent enough, and you are completely correct on that. When he's good, he's really good. He's strong, he's powerful, and he always wants to move the ball forward, but he's too inconsistent.
It reminds me of Bailey 2 years ago. You can see there's something there. It's just not clicking. It's not working out. And honestly, I don't know. Like, I always thought Bailey had it in him, and I see what Zaniolo has. I just don't know if he could ever show it for the Villa.
For sure. And that's going to be the issue. It's a player that's had a lot of praise. The Italian manager has referred to him as, he thinks, potentially Italy's future centre-forward, which is an incredibly interesting take on a player that's not playing in a centre-forward position. But he's got a lot of admirers, so that's good. And I think a lot of the squad we have to be able to rely on as well.
Yeah.
We have to...
Diaby needs to step up.
We do, and I think
Rogers needs to step up.
It's going to rely as well with Europe. We've got Lille. We don't want to throw that away. And so we need those players who are going to rotate. We might even see Chambers a little bit, and I just think we need to see them playing consistently and knowing what they're doing and playing like they're good, like rather than being.
So Villa need no injuries.
Yes.
Period. No more cards, no more stupid cards, no more injuries, no more players missing
Massive.
games. Number 2, we need players to step up, and number 3, we need all English teams to take Europe seriously,
Yes.
including Villa.
Yes.
Because if Villa do well and progress to the finals, if Chelsea, they don't play Europe. If Man City or Arsenal can progress to the finals, and if Liverpool or West Ham can progress to the finals of the Europa League, that gives us the greatest shot to have 5th place Champions League spot
Yes.
for the England coefficient with UEFA, and therefore 5th place, where we could end up at the end of the season, would be a Champions League spot.
I think we'd have to do a real bottle job to not end up in 5th. United keep shitting the bed, and so I think we've got about a 9 or 10 point gap, or at least an 8 or a 9 point gap with United now.
Yeah.
And then you've got Tottenham obviously breathing down the necks for 4th, but that means that 5th is pretty wide open. So unless we really don't, like, Arsenal's going to be a tough game, but we beat them. We sat deep, we held the ball, we stomached the pressure, and we got a goal. That's how we beat them last time. So if we can do that again, I don't know. It's going to be hard. They're playing really good football, but the other games, as I said, Brighton, Crystal Palace,
Bournemouth.
Liverpool have got, they're a good team, but they're not unbeatable. Like they've a lot of young players. They are having to make a lot of transitions, and Villa are dangerous on the counter.
I think Chelsea at home could be a very interesting one.
Huge.
I just hope it's not a game that we saw like the Man United game where Villa go up 2 goals, or even the game today against Brentford where Villa go up 2 goals and then a team just marches back through. So for me, Villa need those two wins and 2 draws, or 3 wins.
Yeah,
3 wins for the dream.
I would agree. And other than that, I think that's it. Yeah. And I think really the fans just have to keep the faith, and also maybe just in our excitement, keep a bit of a memory of where we've come from. Just don't forget that this season, after X amount of games, we were looking relegation bound under Steven Gerrard, and here we are challenging for a champion. If we don't get it and we end up in Europe, that's a step up from the Conference League. Like, we are making great progress. And we're making good signings. We need Unai on a 25-year contract, as far as I'm concerned. He's I think untouchable. I think he's one of the best managers in the league for sure.
100%.
And I think he'd have done well at Arsenal. I think it was a poison chalice when he took over, because Wenger was leaving. Who could replace that? It was the same with Ferguson at United, and he did okay. He finished 5th. He got them to a final. Like, he had a rough time. I always felt from there. 1 or 2 signings didn't work out. I think Pepe signed. But anyways, I think Villa is going well. I think we're going to do it. JP, any final words?
I hope Villa fans are enjoying the ride, and I hope Villa Park can continue to push them on, be that 12th man that we all know they can be, because today we heard the ruckus of when Villa gave up that second goal, the fans turned, and we can't have it get toxic. We need to keep encouraging the boys, because when we scored our 3rd today, it showed like the crowd were egging them on, and
Correct.
We can literally egg them on to 2 wins ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's it, guys.
That's all we need.
Not much of a good, the bad, and the ugly today, because, a loss and a draw, what should have been a loss and a win. But Luke the Duke, thank you for joining me.
And ladies and gentlemen, look at this. The man himself, married.
All done up.
So keep your hands off, boys and girls.
But he's single. Get him down.
Desperate.
He wants that green card for America.
He does. This is.
Apparently, this is nice weather.
Not bad.
I don't know, something like that. What is it, 21?
About 18 Celsius.
18 Celsius?
Yeah.
That's nice.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Right, remember, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll be back at the North End. JP
Soon.
California. Good to see you, brother.
Later, guys.
See you, boys. Peace.
Bye. Sweet.
This is the North End.